So that makes sense. Okay. So, yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
No, yeah, so microphone 1 is not anything.
Well, at least we don't have echo.
Alright. So good then?
Audio-wise, yes.
Alright, then here. This is what we do. Check this out.
Audio-wise, yes.
Phew. In your face is alive. Oh!
You can't see.
Oh my gosh! That doesn't work at all!
Well, the audio work.
Here. Alright. We'll get it fixed.
Well,
We'll get it fixed for next time.
Yeah, we'll lower it down, but show the people.
Oh, you see it? That's even worse. Yeah.
It's too close to the light. That's
That's hilarious.
We'll lower it down.
We'll just stand up the entire time.
Wow, it looks a lot better on camera. Although it looks good in person.
It does.
That's canvaschamps.com for those that are worried. They're not a sponsor, but they're damn good for canvas art. You can custom make anything as long as you have your own graphics and pretty well any size. So they make all my canvas artwork.
Oh, I had to find my microphone.
Oh, but yours is working. I just want to make sure we don't have any.
Yeah, but both microphones are working. For some reason, I have 3 microphones on my OBS, but one's not giving any input.
Right, I just want to make sure.
I did not go into details and look and see what it was.
So. I just want to make sure we don't have any weird echo like we have.
Echo.
I just want to make sure we don't have any weird echo. And we don't.
No, we are gravy.
Fantastic. Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
To the Average Intelligence Podcast.
No, it's not the Average Intelligence Podcast tonight. It's just intelligence. I like it.
It's a little above us, but this podcast tonight is brought to you by the rock band Again, who graciously joined me earlier today for the Arte podcast. Very cool bunch of dudes, and I'm actually really digging their music because it's growing on me. I really liked their one song right out of the gate, and another one's really grown on me. But they're just such awesome guys, so you should support them. Their album's coming out soon, and they're going on tour in the summer.
Oh yeah.
And there's another.
Are they coming to America?
They're touring America.
I'm just kidding. But for some reason.
There's another big announcement which I will share with you after. But I actually cannot share with all of you yet.
Oh. He got his STD results.
I'm clean, bitches! No. But actually, before we get into the seriousness...
I'm putting him back out on the streets. I need some money.
But we were going to do this in a separate video, but thank you, Jeremy Boring. They came earlier than expected. We got our Jeremy's chocolate.
Oh, shit!
And we got...
She-her!
It's a she-her bar, the nutless variety. So we are going to try this. I have not tasted this. We're going to try it live on air.
All right. This is a special treat for you and us.
Now, I will say, I predicted...
Oh, we got some breakage in there.
Oh.
So it's similar to Hershey's.
Okay, so it's basically a Hershey's ripoff like I thought it was going to be. How much you want to bet they just melted down a bunch of Hershey's chocolate?
All right, hold on. I'm breaking off a little square. Well, rectangle.
Break off a rectangle.
All right. I am having technical abilities, and I will eventually get this piece of chocolate out. Hold on.
It smells different than Hershey's.
Yeah.
Yeah, this smells like real generic chocolate.
Okay.
Right? It's all right. It's like Dollar Tree chocolate.
That's not good at all. That's I don't know. Hold on, that piece kind of grew on me. Hold on.
It's like the bunnies you get from Dollar Tree at Easter time. That's what it tastes like. It's like more of a Nestle chocolate.
Two to make it true. Hershey's is way better.
Hershey's is way better.
Sorry.
Especially when you factor in price.
This was a good, like...
Marketing
genius. Like, this was good to make some money. Good on you. But, unfortunately, yeah, Hershey's is better.
Enjoy the sweet taste of building a woke-free economy. Jeremy's Chocolate, a Daily Wire venture. I mean, it's all right. It's not...
It's not the worst chocolate I've
No,
ever
I've had much worse chocolate.
But it's also not the best.
It is soy-free, though, so...
Soy boy-free.
But it's both. I say it's okay if I grab another piece.
It's chocolate.
Yeah. It's all right. For the price, I would never buy it again.
No.
But it was funny as hell.
It's just got a really weird mid-taste.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I figured it wasn't
The beginning is good, the end is good, but the middle is weird.
You know what? That's 100% correct.
Like, that is so odd. How does that happen?
I feel like I need to wash it down with a Bud Light.
So that was pretty
I
funny.
keep seeing that Spider-Man 3 meme when he's in the black suit. Sorry, chump, jumps down.
Yeah. See ya, chump.
But then they do the Scooby laugh.
Yeah, you just sent that one to me the other day. That was hilarious.
Every time I see it, I love it. Now, serious time.
Damn it. Oh, shit.
Now we're going to talk about a bunch of people that got fired or canceled or both.
I'm your biggest fan. Don't judge me. That's all. That's as big as I am.
So who do we...
Okay.
Why is that frozen?
I killed the camera. Hold on.
Oh, yep, you sure did. You can't see what I'm doing. I'm taking off my pants.
Oh, that was good.
I've got two big black microphones in my face.
Why am I?
Why is yours warm?
Because I was holding it.
Oh, yeah. I was holding it beforehand, baby. Don't worry about it.
There we go.
Ah, we're back. Good thing I put my pants back on.
Technical abilities.
Because we're very, very, very professional here at the Average Intelligence Podcast.
We did warn you with the name, Average.
Yeah, if you're still watching, it's your fault.
All 573 of you.
You glorious, beautiful bastards, you. Except for 25. Fuck off.
We need to find whoever's like literally. If you know that you were number 25, say something. Well, not right now. Any comment.
Anything. Like,
You know what? I don't even care if you're number 25.
Just
Be
claim it.
number 25, and be our
scapegoat.
our enemy that we can collide back and forth with in the comments.
Well, Toast already does that. He's not our enemy, though.
No, he's more of a fun spirited friend who lives in Canada and doesn't have free speech. Just kidding. He has free speech.
It's just not the same.
It's just not the same.
But speaking
So it's actually not free speech, but we'll just say it's for that, you know.
I mean, he can say what he wants as long as he's not
Around anybody.
criticizing the government or anything like that. Calling Justin Trudeau a fruitcake.
No, I guarantee you he probably would agree with that sentiment.
I'm pretty sure we talked about Trudeau, but anyway, we're not here to talk about Trudeau. We're here to talk about other insecure men.
So who should we start with?
Well, I'm tempted to start with Crowder, but I feel like
he's going to take the show, so
Yeah.
we got to get the other guys out of the way.
So we're laying out. I know how we can start with Crowder.
Oh, I was going to say we could start with Don Lemon.
Don Lemon.
Because honestly, there's not really a whole lot about him other
Not
than he's
really,
a
and
fucking idiot.
Yeah, there's that, but I did read because I'm
Good reporter, just too. No, I'm just saying too stuck in his ways to do something that's actually going to be beneficial towards his career instead of destroy it. It's like, yeah, you got tons of clicks for many years because of Donald Trump, but then after Donald Trump, like even Donald Trump predicted, he said that as soon as if I don't make it to next presidency, watch. All the news media is going to start going bankrupt and closing down. I'm like,
well, but what's interesting about Don Lemon, which shame on Don Lemon. What's interesting about him is the fact that, and it's hard to find. It's not I mean, if you search for it, you'll find it, but it's not widely talked about, is they haven't officially said why he was let go, but I suspect it was because he was labeled a misogynist during a segment where he basically said that men and women are different.
How do you call that misogynist?
Well, the left apparently does. And then there was some, like, sex scandal with him, but actually I did read that whole thing was dropped by the person that...
Well, that's good.
Well, yeah, because apparently, as far as I can tell, it was a false allegation, but... You know, I don't know. I wasn't there, and if I had been there, I would have run out of the room very, very quickly. So, I'd be like, penis.
I think all his ranting and raving...
I think it will be interesting to see where Don Lemon ends up, though.
He's going to Fox.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Wait, seriously, Matt Wallace who left Fox to go to CNN?
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace, thank you. Yeah. So, Chris Wallace left to go there. Watch Chris Wallace reunite with Fox because, I mean, let's be honest here. Fox is owned by BlackRock, which is not your friend, you know, and so therefore they're going to be whatever they need to be. And obviously all social media and any outlet is left-leaning for some reason because it makes us all fight.
Well, the conflict is what sells, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's sexy.
Well, and it's so interesting because this kind of segues into Tucker Carlson. We're not that old, but I remember when Tucker Carlson worked for CNN and he was on that show Crossfire.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went to Fox, which Crossfire was it wasn't an interesting show. It was kind of a shameless way to try to get viewership. Like, it was just two guys that just argued with each other all the time. And Tucker Carlson was one of them.
Oh.
And then Jon Stewart went on there one time and just expertly made fun of the entire thing. He was like, listen, I think you guys just need to relax.
Jon Stewart, I was actually watching a debate between him and someone arguing about abortions. And Jon Stewart was on the side of abortions. And I was like, he's so confusing.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's not really confusing. I would just say he's classic liberal.
I think Jon Stewart represents a pretty wide, on most issues, not every, because nobody represents everybody 100%. And I think that's this weird political perception that we really need to get rid of if we want to stop doing stupid things in this country. Is like Donald Trump even, like, there's a lot of things that Donald Trump says that I like, and there's a lot that I don't really agree with. But and this goes for, I don't think anybody actually agrees with Biden 100%, even Democrats. I don't think there's a Democrat who's like, yeah, Biden, all the way.
You guys have a translator that finishes sentences.
Except apparently he was...
True international pressure!
Except he was apparently, or they replaced him with a robot at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, because he was all kinds of, like, alert and just hitting out zingers.
Dude, just like when he was debating Trump. That blew my mind. I was like, his brain turned on for the day. This is amazing.
Maybe it's like he has to charge it, and they have to conserve.
He's got lithium batteries in there. Elon's behind it.
Elon's like, turn him on.
Elon Musk, please, dude. For the sake of everything, I know you're trying.
Turn him off.
I know you're trying to tank all the stocks so you can buy a bunch of them, and then the economy goes back up eventually because it will. Let's just face it. It's America. But then you're even richer than rich.
Like you. I was trying to make a Richie Rich.
$1 million
for lunch.
Maybe more. I love you.
You complete me.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
this is what you get here.
We make it fun though.
Yeah, and for any viewer that was not here before, we reviewed
Jeremy's chocolate, so you don't have to. Don't buy it.
Yeah. It's a good.
It's great marketing, but the
great
chocolate
marketing
sucks.
Yeah, the chocolate it sucks so much. I just got you know what it tastes like? You know what it really tastes like?
It tastes like Dollar Tree chocolate.
It tastes like freedom. Because we have nutless bars when they're supposed to be nutless.
Yeah, her bars.
I don't like almonds. Do you like almonds?
No, I don't. That's
I
why I
hate almonds.
That's why I didn't get the him bars, because I don't like nuts in my chocolate.
No nuts.
I've already got some. I don't need them in my chocolate. And I don't know if they're almonds, but I'm assuming they are. Fuck almonds.
That explains the lisp.
Oh god, but so we kind of covered Don. There's not much to talk about Don Lemon, but I wanted to be fair.
Yeah, because he is.
A lib. What are you looking at over there?
I need a haircut horribly. Like it's bad. Yeah.
Flip.
The flip whip.
I
used to do that in high school when I had long hair.
I remember. But then there was, oh God, is it Dave Landau or Dan? It's Dave Landau. Landau. The former third chair co-host of Louder with Crowder, who dropped a couple bombshells, and I'm just gonna.
I have not read into those, so this will be.
Well, and I listen. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna say, like I said in the short, telling everybody about this podcast is somebody better pick up that phone, because I called that shit. I couldn't put my in. You were there. We had a few conversations. I was like, I don't know why I think Crowder's full of shit, but I don't know. Something's just telling me the Crowder's full of shit.
I don't know.
Not full of shit, but
yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely a hypocrite, because he speaks all this about being passive and non-aggressive, but the thing is, we've seen all his videos, and don't get me wrong, dude, I absolutely love the Crowder confronts. Those things are the greatest things ever, but it's passive aggressiveness. So it's like, whether you want to admit it's aggressive or not, aggressiveness can lead to violence, and when tensions are high and testosterone is flowing as well as adrenaline, I mean, things can happen. And he could have hit his pregnant wife. Now, how long ago?
We're gonna get into that, but I'm
hold on a second though.
Okay.
The footage. Someone brought up a good point to this day. For some reason, I just wasn't thinking about it. When was this footage taken? And I know it probably says it in the footage, but the thing is, have you heard it?
I'm not
She
sure.
was pregnant. Is she still pregnant?
I do not know. But to me, that's kind of irrelevant. Obviously, it was before they started the divorce proceedings.
Oh, no. I was just curious for time.
I think it's fairly old compared to, like, today. But I want to talk specifically about Dave Landau, because this ties into the whole Daily Wire.
For sure.
sheet.
Sosa.
Yeah.
One love.
We will. It'll when you come on Arte in a couple weeks, it'll come up. I don't want to lead with it.
and actually, I was gonna, if you guys make up a date and time, whatnot, I'll pop on for that part of the debate.
Okay.
And we can go, but like we're not gonna gang up on you or anything like that.
No, because actually, Sosa.
I have fun going back and forth.
Well, but since Sosa's here, actually, I watched the video that you did. You guys should definitely check out Sosa Potence 300 on YouTube, because he did a video talking about the Crowder video that was released about him and his wife. And Sosa made a lot of really good points that I hadn't really considered fully. But going back to Dave Landau, so if you remember, and every one of you who gave me shit in the comments, fuck you, because I was right. When the whole Daily Wire contract thing came about, and I kept saying, it's like, it's not even that I think it's a good deal, because I understand that the $50 million would have been to Crowder's entire production over 4 years. But it was just the way he handled it. It's like Crowder, in this instance, and kind of with Dave Landau, for all that shit he slung at Daily Wire, he was doing the same stuff, if not worse, to Dave Landau. And I tried to find more information on what happened with Not Gay Jared when he left the show, but he has, I guess, an NDA, which Landau didn't have, so that's why he's talking about it. What did he talk about? About the whole, being penalized for, not being able to deliver a show. Well, Dave Landau's new contract that he was offered had a 5-minute tardiness thing, which means if he was 5 minutes late, he was barred from the premises for that day, and he was not paid for being 5 minutes late. Now, keep in mind, this is not 5 minutes late to a call time. This is 5 minutes late because he was writing on the show, too. And then there was a bunch of stuff about... Now, I know that there's been some debate about whether or not Crowder was actually plugging his shows. I'm not even going to get into that. because from what I understand, like, a lot of people say that Crowder was publicizing Dave Landau's show because he's a stand-up comic as well. But Landau is alleging that he only did that when Crowder was part of the tour as well, which won't get into that because I don't know enough about that situation. But the other big things were like, then he wanted Landau to start doing a Friday show on Crowder's network, which, by the way, called that shit too. Because what did I say? Oh, this whole thing is to just drum up interest so that he can launch his own like little network thing.
Yeah.
So he wanted Landau to have a Friday show, but Landau was not going to be paid additional money outside of what he was already being paid to make that show.
I just thought of... You continue. I have an epiphany. Well, I'll say it.
Oh, I remember now because I have... So, first of all, I do want to say I don't like slinging shit at other podcasts, but I watched the entire podcast that he was on, the Michael Malice show, You're Welcome. It's a terrible fucking podcast. And I don't think Dave Landau is particularly funny, so it's not like I'm like super on his side or anything. But I took some screenshots because he shared... I gotta find those fucking things, though. There we go. So... Okay, so here's the time policy. Expected hours. Subject to the notice provision in Section 1.5, contractor, which would be Dave Landau, agrees to be present in the company studio Monday through Friday, 7:45 until 3:45.
Did they change it to 15 minutes?
Well, that was his suggestion.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm going to get into something else here in a second, but so Dave Landau would have been expected to be in the studio Monday through Friday, 7:45 to 3:45, and additional hours on an as-needed basis. Call time is at 7:45 a.m. on regular show days. However, these hours are subject to change due to the needs of the company, as well as to accommodate special live streams which may occur at night. Now, I want to talk about one thing, because it says that he is a contractor in this agreement, and if this is a 1099 agreement, you cannot tell a contractor when to be anywhere.
Mm-mm.
So there's that.
There's a job to do, and they get it done.
Now, that might differ in a media contract. I'm pretty sure it would, but... So the time policy, company will enforce a strict 5-minute tardy policy. Contractor agrees that if he arrives to work more than 5 minutes late, he's considered to be in breach of Section 1 and must leave company premises and will not be compensated for the day the breach occurred. So remember that whole bit where Crowder was talking about, being robbed of his money? You're going to take a whole day of somebody's pay because they were 5 minutes late? Now, I can't think of any job.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, they're not taking the pay because if they're 5 minutes late, that usually means they're 5 minutes late to start their shift. So they're not losing that day because they're not going to be able to get in.
Right, but this contract...
So it's like, how could you take away pay if they weren't able to clock in anyway? Because if 5 minutes late, I'm assuming the clock in wouldn't allow it. Or...
So the difference is he's not an hourly employee, though.
That's right. He's contractor.
Yeah. Well, and he's not even being given the... If he was, he wasn't even...
I wouldn't sign that shit for nothing.
Well, he wasn't going to because he wanted it to change to 15 minutes. And listen, I understand having some kind of policy like that, but at the same time, it's like if we're all adults here and he's an entertainer, like you really don't even need that policy because if he's late all the time, then just fire him.
Or if he's really good with your show, you add him, you work with him. And who was that for? Dave Landau?
Dave Landau, yep.
Landau? He's a Lambo.
And then
Lando.
And then part of the promotion aspect, company agrees to promote the date of contractor's independent business of stand-up comedy appearances once a week at a time and in a medium of the company's discretion. So that can, as Michael Malice pointed out, so that could literally be a bullshit social media post that nobody sees. And then there was some weird thing about, so Dave Landau does stand-up comedy, so the weekends are his big bread and butter time. So this new contract, he would only be, first of all, the new contract would have required him to move his entire family to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which I don't think you can even legally stipulate that in a contract, but maybe, but fuck that, because apparently there's reasons, he didn't go into details, but there's reasons why moving his family would be unideal at this time. And then the other thing was he would only be permitted to do stand-up every third weekend. So basically every 6 weeks. And then he would have to be back on Sunday. So he'd work for Crowder on Friday. He'd have to be back on Sunday so that he can make the 7:45 Monday.
Good thing we didn't apply for that.
No shit. Hey, but Daily Wire, I'm open to receiving a term sheet.
My wife really likes Candace Owens. I'm not a fan. I don't dislike her. I agree with what she says. But
I have my issues with
she
Candace.
just seems. Let's go. Just like really uppity.
I think Candace would benefit immensely from just becoming a tiny bit more introspective. I think overall the work she does is phenomenal. But sometimes she's just a little too
She's reactionary.
Well, almost like she looks
like overly reactionary.
She leaps before she looks sometimes, and then ends up looking.
For the most part, she is very correct. Like almost like a lot of the time.
Yeah, but sometimes she can take it too far. The example I always cite is when she was on Joe Rogan, the whole climate change thing. You can look for that on YouTube. You'll find it. Where she goes on and on about how climate change is bullshit, and then Joe's like, she doesn't believe in it, and then Joe asks her some questions. She's like, well, to be honest, I don't really know that much about it. It's like, well, I don't know. Well, and
I think she did say that she didn't believe that we caused climate change.
Right. Well, and then there was another, and I forgot it when we were talking about it, but I finally remembered when she was on Timcast. This one made her look dumb. Not even gonna lie. She went going in on the same tirade, and then she was like, she talked about the ozone layer, and she's like, "What happened to the ozone layer?" And then Tim's like, "Well, yeah, they actually did outlaw those chemicals, and they pretty well fixed the issue, but like that actually happened."
Well,
and she had no fucking idea. Which actually, that reminds me.
Could you imagine if AOC came on one of these shows?
She never would. But actually, that reminds me. I made some notes because we have a little bit of a what did we fuck up that I need to address. And I didn't want to forget because I almost did right there. So, damn, that was supposed to be the introduction of a show because I have a funny conspiracy about all this. So I'll do that last. So I have to apologize to the internet for the Name 10 Books challenge. I fucked up one.
Which one?
The book is in fact not called Tom Sawyer. It is It is the Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Oh, shut up.
So it doesn't count.
That counts. That counts, internet.
And this is a big one, which actually this will be not vindication for you, but this will make you happy. I need to publicly apologize to Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy, through a very embarrassing error on my part, I have been giving you shit for the better part of 10 years. Maybe not 10, but for a while now. For some reason, I was getting you confused with Chris Kattan because of a movie Chris Kattan did many, many years ago, which I thought was the dumbest piece of shit, and that Chris Kattan, who I was getting confused with Jimmy Fallon, was the single biggest detriment to comedy and entertainment in the world. Turns out, it wasn't Jimmy Fallon. It was Chris Kattan.
I've never known Jimmy Fallon to be in any movies.
Well, again, I was wrong. I got him confused with Chris Kattan.
What movie is this?
I don't remember, but it's the one where I just remember the trailer because I never actually saw the movie because it looks so stupid, but he's standing outside somebody's house dressed as a Girl Scout and goes, "You guys want some cookies?"
Why do I remember that?
I don't know, but I saw the trailer.
You guys want some cookies? That sounds like something I would have said.
You'd probably love that movie. But Jimmy Fallon, I apologize. I have given you shit that was not your fault, and that's 100% on me.
Such an asshole.
Well, I still don't find him particularly funny, but, I mean...
I like Jimmy Fallon. I like him the most out of all the current nighttime hosts.
That's true. I will give you that.
Because
it's only because Craig Ferguson isn't still on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
the other guy? Jimmy...
Kimmel.
I can't stand him anymore. He used to be one of my idols, dude.
Back when he was on
the Man Show. It's like, dude, you really did a 180. And I'm like, you don't have to, like, if that's the way you were then, he's like, you don't have to change your ways. You just got to grow up a little bit and talk about it.
Actually, to succeed in Hollywood, you do have to change your ways, and that's the unfortunate fact. I totally understand why he
That's
did
true.
it.
Never mind.
I totally understand. Dude, Stephen Colbert, same way. I used to love Colbert, and now he's embarrassing. And it's like, geez, talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. And then I had... So, you want to hear my conspiracy theory about why all these people got fired?
I had Kool-Aid tonight. No, it was good. Yeah.
So, I figured it out. This is why... all of these people are connected, and they all got fired for this reason. So, Don Lemon sucked Crowder's dick. So Lemon's husband...
This is definitely Chat GPT.
No, I came up with this all on my own.
Okay.
So Don Lemon sucked Crowder's dick. Lemon's husband paid Dave Landau to fuck Crowder's wife. But she liked it and left Steven for Landau, and Tucker Carlson has all the tapes.
Well, okay.
And I came up with that, and I'm like, it fits.
Like... That was a beautiful brain moment.
It's all connected, and that's what happened, I'm telling you.
That was a beautiful mind moment. I sometimes have those.
It's only a joke, but I swear to God, if it comes out to be true...
Oh my gosh.
I'm starting my psychic business after that.
You know, little side quest here.
Side quest?
Side quest. Open the door. Open the door. No, so, so why did Fox fire Tucker?
So that hasn't come out, but I have my theory.
Now I know that they were talking about Dominion, and I'm like, so how is Dominion suing Fox, and they actually have a settlement? And I'm like, I'm assuming they were talking about the E word. I'm not gonna say it because we'll get in trouble here on YouTube. Anytime I mention that, they'll think that we're saying it's falsified. But I'm saying there were issues with it, and that's what they were talking about.
Well, so here's the thing. So the Dominion lawsuit, which, hey, I mean, Dominion won, so...
Yeah, but in a court of law, you know.
Well, so here's the problem. Again, Fox, in my opinion, based on what they said, Fox took it too far. Because here's the thing. To legally prove defamation, you have to be able to prove malicious intent. And... they were able to prove it.
Okay, so did Fox, was this all in the media?
Well, hold on, I need to correct myself. They didn't prove it because it didn't go to trial.
Right.
This was a settlement.
Yeah.
Because, and this is coming from Ben Shapiro, by the way. He's saying that Fox probably didn't want to have their pundits testify, including people like Tucker Carlson. You know.
Yeah, but that would have been so entertaining. That would have been so much content.
Oh man, the left would have eaten that up.
Oh man,
they would have loved it. Content for years. Now, I suspect I suspect that Carlson got fired because out of everyone at Fox News, I think he might be the most toward the center since O'Reilly. And there have been times, allegedly, there are backstage conversations.
I mean, he was a libertarian, so...
Yeah, but there were backstage conversations where Carlson would openly talk about how much he hated Donald Trump. Now, I'm not saying that's why he got fired, but there are people who have reported that. And apparently, he was a real pain in the ass to work for. Kind of mean-spirited.
Carlson or...
Carlson.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So that might be it now. But here's the other thing. Much like Bill O'Reilly when he was on Fox News, I would say O'Reilly was bigger than the network. I think it got to a point where Carlson honestly just got... Ultimately, it might have even come down to money, because I know his contract wasn't up, but surely they were thinking about if they were going to re-sign him, they were going to need more money.
Right.
Or he was going to want more money, rather. So I think it came down to money, and then maybe Carlson, and this is my conspiracy theory on it, I believe that when it looked like they were going to have to testify, I think maybe Carlson was like, yeah, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to throw you guys under the bus necessarily, but I'm not going to lie on the stand. And I think that might have been an issue for old Fox.
That's true, because they know he's a loose cannon.
Well, it's not even that he's a loose cannon. It's just, I do ultimately believe... I think Tucker Carlson has a little bit of a bias to him, but I think ultimately he does care about finding the truth. Kind of like us, in a way, because Like, we all
there
have
will
our
be,
biases.
yeah, everyone has their bias, and that's the unfortunate truth, you know, because everyone, you know, they just think that they can watch the news and get an unbiased opinion, and for the most part, you can.
But that's why I respect outfits like the Daily Wire, who, without going into propaganda,
They strive on their opinions, you know.
Well, but not only that, they don't delve into propaganda necessarily. Although there are sometimes I'm listening to Ben Shapiro, and this tends to be cultural stuff where I'm like, yeah, Ben, I just don't see it like you do. But when it comes to like the actual news and the facts, I think Daily Wire does a pretty good job. Now again, they have a right perspective, but they don't hide that.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. There's
They come
no
out
like
and say, hey, we're all conservatives here.
look over here, but what you really need to look at's over here, but pay attention over here.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing that Ben in particular does that I like is when he brings up numbers, it's like, numbers.
The guy's a certified genius. Anything he reads goes into a computer database that is directly linked to his butthole. And, like, he's connected Ethernet 24/7.
Except Fridays after dusk.
Yeah. And the guy just, like, can... The way he can bring facts to the front of his frontal cortex.
Well,
and
to be fair though, like he has writers for his show, like everybody else does.
Which, no, I'm talking about his debates.
Yeah, his debate.
He brought up during those.
Yeah, his debates are top notch. And then there are times where
you don't think he writes most of his stuff?
Oh, I think he definitely has a hand in it, but I just don't think there's enough time in the day.
He probably gives them key plots and then gives them.
I imagine because he's got a research team.
Right.
There's not enough time in the day, but I do believe he keeps his finger on the pulse, because if you watch his show, one thing he's really good at, you can kind of tell when he's kind of going on the script, but then he'll make an aside and it flows very well, so you're not 100% sure, but generally speaking you can kind of tell. But there are some times where Ben tries to make jokes and they just don't land, like when he read, which by the way, love the internet, the remix they did of when he read the words to WAP.
Oh,
they
yeah.
They remixed the song to it.
Oh, the internet won that day.
But I watched that when Ben was reading them, and then I knew it was a joke, but it's a joke he shouldn't have told because it made him look like a virgin. When he's like, bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P word. I think that might actually be a medical condition. You know, it's not supposed to be sopping, and I'm like, actually, Ben,
if you're doing it right, it
like,
is.
Actually, Ben, it was like, tell me you've never made your wife come without telling me you've never made your wife come.
Damn, shots fired.
I mean, now here's the thing.
Oh man, dude, you sound just like that one kid that told him he's like, and you've never given your wife an orgasm.
It's true though. Like that's how it makes you look.
That's funny.
Now, I understood it was supposed to be a joke. It was just a bad joke that he shouldn't have told.
Word.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
But then he came back a couple days later and was like, listen, it was a joke. You know, sometimes we make jokes on this show, and I'm like, yeah,
but it's like, dude, that even had to go through approval. So it's like, you should have been like, or someone should have like set you straight.
Yeah, somebody should have been like, oh, Ben kind of makes you sound like a pig.
Ben, you have sex twice a year.
Only for procreation. And you keep your shirt on. The lights off.
And where's the yarmulke? Yarmulke.
Can he wear the yarmulke during sex?
I don't know. Why wouldn't he? God
well,
has
no,
to
I
be
think
present in the bedroom.
it's a purity thing, though. I don't. Hang on.
So sex isn't pure.
Well,
It's a sin.
Jesus Christ.
It's a sin.
Actually, I'm gonna look this up.
What, Mr. Slade? Oh Jesus Christ! His voice is like seemingly easy, but it's not.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, because it's easy to go too hard.
Kind of like Mr. Slave.
Wait, what?
What?
Do Orthodox Jews have sex through a sheet? Oh, here we go.
He's unorthodox.
No, he's an Orthodox Jew.
Nope, unorthodox.
No, I'm pretty sure he is.
Who was it that said they? Was it Crowder? Did Crowder work for Daily Wire at one point?
No.
No. Who was it that said they worked for an unorthodox? No, they were talking about Ben Shapiro and they said he was unorthodox.
No, he's not a Hasidic
Is he Orthodox?
Jew. He's Orthodox.
Okay.
I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me. But.
Hey Siri, is Ben Shapiro an Orthodox Jew? She refused to tell me. She said, "No, I will not answer your question because you're an asshole." I think he is unorthodox.
Sorry, we're looking up information. Okay, what the fuck's a kippah?
Yeah, he's Orthodox.
I
You're
thought
right.
so. Okay.
Famous.
Okay, so thank you, Reddit. What do you do with a kippah while having sex? You're not supposed to wear it 24/7.
I'm assuming they take it off to sleep and probably have sex.
Okay, so you wear it everywhere except when you bathe or swim. Some take it off when they go to sleep. So I guess it depends, maybe? As to sex, I do not know. As to masturbation, if you're wearing a kippah, you really should think twice if Hashem wants you to be masturbating. Hint, he doesn't. I am reformed. There was a kid in my high school and a grade older than me who was reformed and wore his kippah all the time. So kippah is just another word for yarmulke, apparently. I'm not Jewish. I don't know these things. Never actually spoke a single word in blah, blah, blah. Not answering your question, but wanted to offer 2 cents. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. It is typically thrown wherever my shirt ends up. So I guess you can wear it, but I would think that you'd want to take it off, but I don't know.
It depends on if you're...
Baby, when I get home, I'm going to get my bucket and mop and come in wearing nothing but my yarmulke.
You gotta park that Big Mac truck in that little garage.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, so Tuckle
Tuckle.
Carlson, he on Hill night.
Open the door. Open the door.
Open the door.
Leave me alone. I had a speech impediment for a long time.
You did it?
Yes, I did.
When?
I had it in elementary school.
You didn't have it before 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, you didn't.
No, I
you got
did.
rid of it earlier.
Well, yeah, they had me do speech classes in 5th grade.
Fucking nerd.
No, I had problems. I had problems with certain R words. Like I used to say "wold."
I do remember it now. How did you correct that?
I literally had to start. They taught me how to start making.
World.
No, they taught me how to start making a conscious effort to point the tip of my tongue to the roof of my mouth when making certain R words. Because I couldn't say R, I'd say R. R world.
Do you have to?
I don't have to anymore. Now it's.
I was gonna say, is it natural?
But
now?
it's natural now. But I slip up occasionally. Like
Well,
Tucker Colvin.
Tucker Carlson.
Open the door, Gilbert.
Tucker Carlson. That's
Tucker
crazy to think about
Carlson.
that. Like if you point your tongue up,
Carl.
Tucker, and then if you leave it open, Tucker.
Tucker Carlton.
Tucker.
Yeah, if you want to replicate that speech impediment and like push your tongue to your bottom row of teeth and don't let it move, and then kind of talk, say your R words.
The teeth, tongue, and the lips, and then you sound a little bit like.
Open the door, Gilbert.
Yeah. I can't think of anything. Are you there? Oh, I can't do his voice right now. I was trying. Will you marry me? What? Brack.
Oh, will you marry me? You don't have to decide right away. Think it over. Who's it gonna hurt?
Where you going? All right, we're losing all our subscribers as we speak.
Okay, it's just because we've been on for.
Tucker Carlson.
So yeah, we don't know
We
why.
haven't been on that long.
Probably not.
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, geez, it feels like it's been a lot longer. No, we've been on for almost an hour. What are you talking about?
Oh, hold. Jeez, open the door. You know,
That's too
I
funny.
normally wouldn't say things like that.
What? Okay,
But the thing is, they made it such a great meme.
I know.
You know, open the door.
But here's the other thing. We're not actually making fun of anyone who's disabled. We're quoting a line from a movie.
TV show.
No, it's from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Open the door.
Yeah. Can you open the door, Gilbert?
No, it's Walt Jr.
You're making fun of Walt Jr.?
I'm not making fun of him. You are.
No, I'm making fun of the line from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Open the door.
No, he did. It's
No,
Wow.
that's from
I
Breaking
know, but
Bad.
it's also from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
No way.
Yeah, I'll show it to you later. Open in your Gilbert.
I've seen that one, but the thing is, he sounds different. He's like, I couldn't drown, Gilbert. Couldn't drown. We are not insensitive here at the Average Intelligence
Okay, well, at
Podcast,
least in the
but
case of What's Eating Gilbert Grape, is we're not making fun of someone who's actually...
we're not making fun of anyone real.
That's true. It's just a funny line. It's not supposed to be funny, but it's fucking hilarious.
I'd like to meet someone outside the family.
Ain't got no gas in it. You do that better than I do.
Ain't got no gas in it. You know, have you ever seen Billy Bob Thornton transform into that character?
Yes.
He doesn't wear any makeup or anything. He just literally just puts his chin forward like this and he's talking about mashed potatoes. You got any biscuits for sale now?
Good drown, Gilbert.
I reckon. I ain't got no gas in it.
Oh my God.
All right.
So Tucker Carlson.
Dude, that hurts
That's
my
hard,
jaw.
yeah. That's...
Tucker Carlson. So I can't even say it right now. That was like my... Okay. So, back to the Dominion thing. Like, what the
So...
I want that to happen. I want them to go to court.
Well, they kind of did.
And no, hold on. Listen. I guarantee you, execs from Dominion and execs from Fox got together and they said, hey, let's squash this before it goes anywhere because we both have secrets we don't want out.
Well, that's essentially what a settlement is, but it's a huge settlement. I think it's the largest media settlement in history.
Yeah, but do we have a number?
We did, but I can't remember what it was. I think it was something like $780 million.
Oh.
Actually, I can look that up. It was big.
And on top of that, them firing Tucker Carlson also killed their stock.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't kill their stock, but it went down quite a bit.
$787.5 million.
That's crazy.
So that's goddamn money.
Yeah. They showed up at the bank and was like, open the door.
You gotta stop doing it. Open the door or I will throw rocks at your window.
you stupid whore. It's funny how people always do that. And they make a dog say it. And I'm like, dogs are sweethearts. They don't say that. Except mine.
Except
bitches.
the one I saw from it was a cat stuck in one of those litter boxes with a door. Open the door.
You've seen 8 Mile, right?
Yeah,
Okay, great movie.
I love 8 Mile.
Dude, anytime I greet my dogs, I'm like, it's all dudes in here except these bitches. That was a terrible joke.
No, it's good.
Open the door. That's all I'm trying to do.
I'm not looking really professional right now.
No,
Like,
it's
so-
hard to look professional when you're sitting next to me.
And I'm wearing
And my
Tim Hortons
haircut.
shirt.
You know what? Where did it go? I think a kid stole my hat.
Which hat?
My Mario.
Oh, your Mario hat, yeah. You just got your MAGA hat.
So-
MAGA.
Oh, no, my Mario hat. I'll bet my son took it.
Probably.
He is infatuated with Mario right now. So obviously,
You had a question about the Dominion.
well, sort of. I
Or
think
statement.
we kind of answered it.
Yeah. I
think
do
so.
think Tucker getting fired had something to do with the Dominion settlement. As to how much of it,
Yeah, they probably said if we settle, he's got to go. Quid pro quo.
well, I
Just
do
like Joe.
I do believe that Tucker had essentially said that, like, listen, I'm not going to like try to make it sound bad, but I'm not going to lie. That seems like something Tucker Carlson would do.
And you know the funny thing is, they did the worst thing by firing him because now he's a free agent with the internet.
And with the Daily Wire out there.
And I guarantee you there was no disclosures that he signed that have anything to do with Dominion, so he can talk all about it.
I'm
And
actually I think it's part of the settlement.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, probably. But I mean, like, let's think about this. Tucker Carlson could essentially go anywhere he wants, because even
He doesn't need to go anywhere. He can
That's-
literally
well, I
start
mean,
his
he
own
could-
subscription service.
but even if let's say he didn't want to do that just for shits and giggles, although I think that's probably what he'd end up doing.
Yeah.
Like, he could go to the Blaze. The Blaze would pay damn good money to have Tucker Carlson.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're about the only ones that could afford him.
Yeah, Daily Wire probably. Well,
No, actually, no, I take that back. Daily Wire or Blaze could afford him.
yeah, either
Because
one.
you got to think of the revenue he's going to bring in. They'll be able to afford it easily.
Yeah.
Or, we all know Tucker's smart. He's probably just going to do it himself, and he's probably just going to start his own subscription service.
Well, but
And even if he charges $8 a month, $9 a month, with 10 million people, because I mean, hell, at his highest point, he's had like what 70 million viewers or something like that.
yeah, somewhere
Like a lot, and I'm like, even 10 million of those people would subscribe, and if you do 10 million people times $10 a month,
That's a lot.
how much is that, Jake?
That's fuck you.
That's $100 million a
Yeah.
month, right?
I don't like numbers.
Open the door. That's nothing to do with not knowing numbers. Just saying.
What, opening the door?
Open the door.
You need to you just need to keep doing desensitize me to it.
Open the door.
Oh, meaning door.
Open the door.
I'm sorry, audience.
It's still so funny. I'm just really good
Oh, it's
at,
fucking
like,
hilarious.
if I want to stop laughing, I can.
I can't. I'm
Abruptly.
bad at it.
I could be an actor. No, I couldn't. Anyway, so let's get to the bread and butter, because we are just rolling on about everyone else, and we're forgetting about Mr. Crowder.
I'm an idiot.
Dude, we need one of those things, the little button things,
do.
because
We
we're going to put that on it.
Oh, that's gonna.
You're an idiot! Dude! If we have people
Okay,
on
so
and
that's-
we're interviewing them, they say something stupid, we just press a button. You're an idiot!
So thus far we'll have you're an idiot and open the door.
Oh gosh. What else?
There's more. I just can't think of them.
But wait, there's more.
There's gonna be a ton from Wolf. Oh, we gotta have the. Love how we found the rhythm there.
Oh! You know, the random ones are the funniest, because you're like, it just catch you off guard. Yeah! So,
Definitely have a you're an idiot.
what do we think about Crowder?
So, listen.
Let's start where it all began. Back in 1967, when he was born. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know when he was born.
Well, he's not that far off. So let's just address the
I think he's
elephant.
probably like 5 years older than us.
I don't even think he's that much older than us, which is very weird. But let's just address the elephant in the room, the video that was released of him being a massive dick to his wife. Now,
Thick and veiny, massive dick.
what are they saying? Super bad.
I was just finishing up this big veiny
Veiny
bastard.
triumphant bastard.
Yeah,
The veiny
big veiny
triumphant
triumphant
bastard.
Yeah. You know what? You know what foods are dick shaped? The best kinds.
Well, there's another one for the soundboard. It's you,
McMuffin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know how many dicks? Shit. You know how many foods are? You know how many of the best foods are? Shit. I just fucked it.
You know how many dicks I had to eat? What?
You know how many of the best foods are shaped like dicks? The best kind. Open in your.
Dude, I swear. Let's just have a podcast one time with just memes. We just look up random memes and just react to them. And the thing is, honestly, instead of having it live, that could be a video.
I was gonna say
that'd be funny
that
as
sounds more like a video. So yeah, the.
Oh yeah. So the video with Crowder and his wife.
Now Sosa, I'm gonna give a shout out to Sosa. He made some pretty good points because first of all, we actually don't know what's going on in that marriage, at all. We don't know. Now, And I totally get where Sosa's coming from. In this particular case, I don't know. It's not even that I disagree. I just don't know.
He said he has a similar experience. So
Well,
like,
and- yeah, I can see that.
he believe, and I'm not trying to say this in any way, but he believes that what Crowder's going through is similar.
The impression that I got is that while Steven Crowder did say that there was no infidelity, I think, at least this is how I took it, and if I'm wrong, correct me, Sosa, I know you will, is he's basically alleging that even though Crowder said there was no infidelity, there in fact was infidelity on the part of his wife. Now, let's assume for 1 second that that is the case. Let's just assume, for the sake of argument. Based on how Steven Crowder, not just to his wife, how he's been purported to interact with other people, because there have been people like Candace Owens and Lauren Chen who both say they disliked working with Crowder. Because Lauren Chen, I believe, worked not directly with him, but she was at the Blaze for a time when he was there. And Candace Owens just flat out has said she doesn't particularly like Steven. Steven does, and I hate to use this word, but Steven does kind of strike me as like a legitimate misogynist. I don't think Steven Crowder likes women. Because there have been more than a few women who have come out and said that he's a massive dick. Now, I hate to use that word.
Or he's just a classic Christian.
I think it's more than that.
Well, because like in the video when he was talking about her doing wifely things or something like that, and then he was talking about her getting pelts for his grill, and I'm just like, bro,
That came
she's
off.
pregnant, and those are like 40-pound bags. I know, I buy them,
Yeah.
and so I'm just like,
Have you got a Traeger?
no, I ain't got no Traeger.
Oh, you just have a pellet grill?
I have a Cuisinart. Yeah. Well, it's half grill, half pellet grill. It's
Okay,
it's nice.
gotcha. No, I hear you things about. I've never used a
It's
pellet
fucking
grill.
$1,100. It better be nice.
But yeah, you brought that up, and like, so Crowder was basically acting like a lot of these like red pill podcasters who I'm not going to name drop, but you probably know who they are. It's like, you think you're
Whatever. Myron.
No, well, Myron, yeah, but whatever's not. Well, no, whatever does this too. I'm trying not to name drop them, but fuck it. A lot of the times these guys are talking and they're trying to sound masculine, but when they say certain things, it just comes off as whiny. Like there was one bit where I'll just say it. Myron was like, I think he was on grilling somewhere in the UK, and he was like, "Can you make sandwiches? Or can you cook?" And she's like, "Can you cook?" He's like, "That's irrelevant." I'm like, "Well, is it though?"
Yeah, because it's like in
you
an
not?
apocalypse and the wife dies and you're left with the children. Can you cook? Can you find food and make a meal?
Well, this is, and I'm probably gonna get called a simp again for this. So, just adding to the origin story of Super Simp.
Fucking simp.
Here's the thing. This is my view on, and I consider myself. I don't even want to say traditionalist. But I do think there are things that men typically will do in a relationship and things that women will typically do in a relationship. However, like every relationship I've ever been in, the woman's been the better cook of the two of us. But I can fucking feed myself. And I think it's kind of pathetic if a guy, especially like by the time you're in your 20s, absolutely, like you should be able to cook more than a couple of things to, again, just feed yourself and be self-reliant. I'm not saying you have to be a chef. Like, the shit I cook is bland as fuck, but I like it, and it feeds me.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was it? Who made the meal that you made? With the peas?
Oh, that was Andrew Tate's
Beef.
inspiration.
Yeah, and there was zero. He ate that, and as he's making it, there's zero seasoning. He just put ingredients together and ate it. He's like, "It's pretty good." I was like, "It tastes like peas, dog."
It wasn't terrible. Like
I like peas though, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, I am going to make another short where I've made one that's, I call it enhanced flavor, where it's the same basic ingredients, but I swap out pinto beans for black beans because I just prefer them. Like, pinto beans are fine, but
black beans are
I prefer
far
black
superior,
beans. And I season it.
especially in Qdoba.
Yeah, but Qdoba's black beans are...
Yeah, and he doesn't eat veggies, but like they're fajita veggies.
Oh, like the peppers and shit?
Yeah, I didn't mean you don't eat veggies at all.
Yeah, the fajita. Yeah, just peppers are, nah.
He is not.
It's not a spice thing; it's a flavor thing because those aren't spicy peppers.
Oh no, they're not spicy at all. It's just you probably don't like the crunch.
No, it's not that. I like, and again, it's one of those things where like if they're in there, as long as they don't overdo it, it's not like I won't eat them. But
That's like at Panda Express, the sweet fire chicken breast chicken, which is amazing, but yet they put so much other gunk in it besides the chicken, and you get like 5 pieces of chicken, and there's like 85 pieces of onion.
there's like a whole onion,
and it's like, ooh. Just like Crowder was saying to his wife, ooh, I'm gonna smack you. No, he didn't say that.
Well, like what? And again, we don't know what the
He
conversation
did
was.
say he would
prior.
fuck her up though.
That wasn't on the tape, but that was reported.
Oh, was that reported?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
reported.
Yeah, that was as she was leaving because, what was it? She literally just left.
Yeah.
Abruptly because she was trying to get away from him, and you know, honestly, when you're in a situation and everything's heightened, the best thing to do is leave the situation.
Sometimes
you
it
know,
is.
but the thing is, he wasn't allowing it, and that really showed his maturity.
Well, and actually, you know, I can speak to this because I have an ex. I'll let you figure out whether it was an ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife. I don't like arguing just for the sake of arguing. I don't enjoy it. Not to say I won't sit around, but I prefer to discuss it to try to actually figure out a solution. But what she would do is she would try to get a rise out of me. So I would just try to not leave the house necessarily, although I did a couple of times. Just be like, I'll just be back in like 20 minutes. When you calm down and want to talk about it like adults, then we'll sit down and talk about it. But I'm not going to engage in. That's why I really I identified with Crowder's wife when she's like, I'm not going to engage, because it's like sometimes that's just what you need to do. You just both need to like cool off for like 10 minutes and then come back and figure it out. But yeah, so I can definitely identify with that because my fucking ex used to do all that shit. Just continue arguing for no reason. It's like, yeah, he came off as extremely immature. And this is why I think, this part is why I think Sosa might be onto something, is because, like, I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't let your wife just go take the car somewhere unless he was planning on going somewhere, because he did make the point. He's like, I can't go to my parents. I can't go to my friends, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, first of all, when you make the kind of money Crowder makes, buy another car, dipshit.
Yeah, why doesn't she have her own car?
Well, because I think, like you said, I think he's that traditional Christian man. Which, here's the thing. If you have to restrict your wife's movements because you think she'll cheat on you otherwise, you are either overly paranoid or you married the wrong woman, my friend.
Somebody, was it Sosa that was talking about her, or about him, saying that it was either Sosa or another video I was watching, but they were talking about he was so, like, he rushed the situation and he just got with any first woman that, like, seemingly had his values, and then come to find out they weren't.
I think,
like,
oh no, I said that. We were texting about it.
oh, see, wow. Well, I've watched so much stuff on it, and yeah. So yeah,
so
go into that.
I'll elaborate on that because that's the vibe I got. So I think Steven, in an effort to be a quote good Christian boy, which I mean we all kind of do it to a certain extent when we were younger, is like we tend to rush into a relationship, especially guys. Guys are really bad about this when they're younger because it's like sometimes, and I see it all the time. I think it's gotten worse. It's like we're so used to not getting a lot of attention, save for some of us who were genetically blessed. But most of us, you know, when we were younger, we didn't get much attention from girls, or if we did, we were oblivious to it. So the first time we find a girl that wants to touch our naughty bits, we're like, marry me. Not you, but some of us. Or not marry me, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I guess... Like, we try to get a girlfriend instead of just trying to date, essentially.
Well, we also came from a small school, so
That's what it's not a bad thing, but I think the more conservative people, again, they confuse dating and trying to get to know someone as trying to have sex with them.
I was gonna say, believe it or not, our grade, I don't think really anybody was like sleeping around like crazy.
So. I don't
and
think so.
I mean like sleeping around with others. Like maybe they were with boyfriends and girlfriends.
Right, but
yeah, like our school was like very PG. For the most part.
But I think Steven, in an effort to be a good Christian boy, like I said, he meets a girl who he kind of likes, but instead of taking time to really get to know each other, he's like, oh, well, now we have to get married because you gave me a blowjob, so now we have to get married. Something like that. Without, and I'm sure his wife, too, just did not really know everything.
Aren't they Catholic?
I think maybe. I'm not sure. Probably. But you would think in a faith where divorce is technically not allowed, in the Catholic Church anyway, you can still get divorced legally, obviously, but in the context of the church, it's technically not allowed.
Right.
Which actually I have... Yeah, I'll share it. I have experience with this, actually.
How'd you get married Catholic?
No. That's why it's funny. Where was I going with that? Oh, you would think that knowing that divorce is technically not allowed in the church, you would think they'd want to take the time and be like, well, I do kind of want to make sure that this person is somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with and have children with and blah-da-da-da-da. But that's the vibe I'm getting from Crowder. And I think both of them, because, they probably got married young, I would assume. And it's just, yeah. And not only that, it's even if they were happy then, people can change. I'm not arguing for divorce. I would reckon that the Crowders in this case just kind of sprinted to the finish line, so to speak. But yeah, my experience with Catholic divorce. So my ex-wife and I, we weren't Catholic. We didn't even have a religious ceremony. But apparently her new husband is Catholic. Which this confuses me because I know they got married, but they couldn't have gotten married in a Catholic church. But anyway, so I'm at work. I get a certified letter. And anytime you get a certified letter, it's bad news, right? So I'm like, oh, fuck. It's from the Archdiocese of Lafayette. And it's a notice to basically that I can appear as a witness in an annulment request of my marriage from my ex-wife. Because, according to Catholic doctrine, even though we got divorced, her previous marriage is still valid, and you can't divorce in the Catholic Church.
But you can annul.
You can annul, which is
what a cop-out.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
almost 10 years later. Actually, by this point, it would be 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say because technical annulments, even through the government, the United States, it's has to be 90 days, 180 days or something like that. It's not a lot.
Well, and technically, so she's found herself an interesting little loophole because the marriage was consummated. But she is claiming basically that she didn't understand what she was getting into. And I was like, oh, really? So I haven't done anything with it. I'm just what the fuck ever. Enjoy my leftovers. But, yeah, but half of me kind of wanted to appear as a witness.
You should have shown and you should have just came in an all black suit.
I object.
No, I'm like, this woman, and then just leave. And then probably what the fuck?
I could come in I still love you.
Oh, dude, no. Seriously, be like, I love you, but I know we can't be together, and then just leave. Everybody in there is just who the fuck was that?
Actually, my one legitimate thought that I would come in and do is be like, yeah, look, I'll cooperate with this, but God knows the truth. And then just leave.
Oh, that's low.
I didn't.
Actually, that's high. That's the high road.
I did. I talked to a friend of mine who is he's very Catholic and a big Catholic nerd, which is weird because he's a very cool dude. But I was like, is this a thing? He's like, yes, this is a thing, and really, you should just not do anything. If you don't really care, just leave it alone. I was like, whatever.
It's will they still allow her to get married, though?
They will. So basically, but...
By you not saying anything is their approval.
It moves forward, yeah.
Okay.
So I have the option to protest. If I don't protest, they don't need my approval. But I keep getting letters from them just reminding you, you can still show up.
It's is she gonna be there? I don't want to see her.
I feel like my silence speaks for itself.
Fuck that bitch. So.
Fuck that bitch, she can burn.
That's what Steven Crowder's saying right now. He's like, fuck that bitch. Do you really think there was fidelity involved?
I don't know because I don't know anything about his wife.
I think he's having like issues like mentally right now because the thing is all the stuff that's going on. Like I'm not saying that she hasn't done anything to wrong him, but the thing is he's never publicly spoken about it.
Well, I think this has been going on for a while actually, and I think it does tie into the Daily Wire incident. But because like you said, I think he's going through some mental things at the moment, and I get it. It's stressful, man. Divorce fucking sucks. Even when you initiate it, it's still fucking terrible. And it's like, who pointed out? Dave Landau pointed out, he was like, Crowder has repeatedly recorded conversations with people for his own benefit. This is something he does apparently. So apparently if you're ever on the phone with Crowder, assume it's being recorded. Because that was low. That was one thing when he recorded his conversation with Jeremy. I thought that was pretty fucking low.
And the funny thing is, we went back and forth on this a little bit. I was kind of on Crowder's side a bit for the most part with this whole Daily Wire Crowder thing. And I was like, oh, no. And he was just like, he's pretty much being immature. And
my issue was never
talking shit.
My issue was never the fact that he disliked the contract. It's whatever.
Yeah.
You don't like the contract. That's fine. It was his behavior in response to it. Because all you really have to do is say, yeah, man, I don't think this is going to work. But the other thing, too, is I think he intentionally did all this to give attention to Crowder. Because, honestly, nobody was really... I mean, Crowder fans knew what was going on, but he wasn't exactly trending, so to speak. At least not that I was aware of.
I'm saying that he did all this stuff, and I'm not talking about his wife, but he did all that stuff to gain, like
that's what I'm saying.
Make me, hey, I'm the hot commodity right now, but look at me while you're looking at me, I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so this thing that's coming out with his wife. This
his
is
wife,
not a publicity thing. She released it.
Yeah. Well, and that's not confirmed, but it's like, come on.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, I was actually going back and forth with someone here on YouTube, and we were talking about that and the different. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe divorce court, there are no criminal proceedings.
No,
so
it's
civil.
civil.
Yeah, it's civil. So therefore, even if they agree to something and she breaks it, basically what she loses is
money,
alimony. Or
it's a civil penalty.
She's not going to go to jail. She's not going to get in any trouble or something like that.
No criminal charges. She will, whatever the financial penalty is.
She's going to lose it. But the thing is, though, like as of right now, we don't know who released that. And honestly, anyone can break into those cameras. It's not super difficult.
Well, I think that's how she's going to end up getting around it because a journalist released it. And nobody has confirmed that she, in fact, supplied it. But like you said, it's plausible deniability because that shit can be hacked. Like, it could have even been someone who worked for Ring. Now, that person could get in trouble if they were found out.
Oh, yeah.
But not...
Could be someone who works for Crowder. Could be a personal security agent that he has. And then, they have access codes.
It was Landau. Because remember I said Landau...
Yeah, he's poking his wife.
Porking Crowder's wife. Then he'll lose 30 pounds. Porking his wife.
So,
if it comes out that Dave Landau had an affair with Crowder's wife, I'm going to shit my pants again.
Listen, that would be the biggest,
that'd be fucking hilarious. Prediction. Oh my god, that would be so fucking funny. And then if Crowder ever comes out as gay, nah. Well,
I don't know. The way he was acting towards her.
You know what? I kind of did.
It was very feminine.
I did kind of get some of the... Not going to lie. I'm not saying Crowder's gay, but if it came out right now, I'd be like,
Makes sense.
Well, and...
There's plenty of gay conservatives. You're going to be fine.
Well, not only that, just Crowder's history. He makes a lot of gay jokes. Over the years. I mean, even, not Gay Jared,
Yeah.
He makes a lot of gay jokes.
Look, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but the thing is, when you talk about it constantly...
It's almost like you're trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, who was I talking about? Talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, they're probably actually gay. Because somebody apparently is very anti-LGBT, which you can be anti-T. I'm all for that. But there's an argument whether or not the T should be in there. But
well, they're also trying to add all kinds of other letters.
Actually, I'm not completely unrelated, but I want to...
saving the homo rainbow. Don't be afraid to let your color shine. South Park for the win.
Yes, as usual.
But the thing is, that's a real song. So,
But I watched a very interesting video on YouTube, and I'm so glad I found it because I randomly found it, and I wish I could remember the channel. But basically, it's a history nerd like me, and he pushed back on because there's this widely held belief, and it's perpetuated by, I'm not going to say the media because it's not like the news media, but it's I'd even say the media at large because some people perpetuate it not knowing that they don't even know to question it. So there's this kind of like widely held belief that cultures like ancient Greece, for example, were like bastions of, gay relationships that were open and consensual and not frowned upon. And this guy goes on for a solid half hour.
Alexander the Great, he was a definite known homosexual.
Well, maybe not.
I'm just joking. I don't know.
Well, no, but okay, but there is a.
I just want to say it with authority.
Well, no, but there is a widely held belief, and it was perpetuated by the movie Alexander. They hint at it.
I believe it was Alexander the Great. I was just speaking out of my
Well,
ass,
yeah, there were allegations that he was bisexual because there were stories about, but he goes into very, very good detail, and he's like, and a lot of the homosexual relationships that people point to, were, I'm going to use the more academic word, pedantry, I think is the word.
Are you talking about little boys?
Yes.
And, yeah.
Pedestry? I don't know. There's a more academic term. But it was like, son of a bitch, he's right. Because a lot of people, but nobody talks about ancient Sparta, for example. Because, that was common, but it was...
Spartans!
Well, but it was far from consensual.
Yeah.
We'll just put it that way. Yeah, it's a great video. I wish I could remember it. I'll find it and tell everybody next time. But he brings up a lot of valid points, and a lot of the art, he points out how some of this art is no, that's actually not gay people. And he cites certain numbers where of all the 80 some odd thousand pieces of art we have, only less than 1% could actually be considered in celebration of homosexuals. And then a lot of it is even still fairly ambiguous because it might have to deal with a certain legend.
I hope my microphone's still plugged in, but the ambiguously gay duo.
That shit's funny to this day.
Dude, that was SNL, right?
No, that was
Yeah, it was SNL.
No, it wasn't. Was it? No, it was Comedy Central.
Hold on, we're gonna look.
I'm pretty sure it was on SNL, which is Comedy Central anyway, isn't it?
No,
No.
SNL's a network.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
They were on SNL. The ambiguously gay duo.
I just love that how they keep doing super gay stuff and they're completely oblivious to it. That's why it was so funny.
Oh yeah. Is this how you wash the car? I can't remember a lot from that show, but it was so good.
Oh no, you're right.
SNL.
Yep, you're right. It was on SNL. That's hilarious.
That was probably the easiest segment they had.
Voiced by Stephen Colbert and Steve Carell.
What?
Yep. That's hilarious.
That makes sense. I mean, one's a 40-year-old virgin.
That's funny.
One visits virgins on islands.
Hey, did you know the ambiguously gay duo that was on Saturday Night Live was voiced by Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert?
Did not know that.
Wow, you learn all kinds of cool shit on the Average Intelligence podcast.
I should subscribe.
The ambiguously gay dude. Wait a minute.
But that's not us. We're the obviously gay duo, Mr. Slave. Jesus Christ.
Oh, son of a bitch! You don't think Mr. Garrison likes kids? You know, the video of Matt Parker and Trey Parker in the...
Matt Parker and Trey Parker?
Those guys in the vocal booth where they were doing the shitty walk. Well, no, the human centipede.
Oh, God.
You showed it to me, I
That's
believe.
some
But
fun
oh
shit.
man, it isn't his kid right there? No. There's another one. But
There's
yeah.
another video.
It's gonna be a ride. Sorry, Kyle.
And it's worth noting, the people I've seen laugh the hardest at that
Are them.
them and
Asian.
and the Asian community. Oh, it's going to be a rot.
That the funniest part about all that, like with culture cancer. Oh my god, dude! I've been doing this my entire life, and that shit is so funny.
Dude, I wish so bad that you still had your euthanasia report.
Yeah,
I wish you had that so bad.
it was about killing puppies, and they wanted, and then I wrote about kids in Asia.
It's the best thing ever.
The teacher didn't spell it out for me. I was in 5th grade.
I know.
5th graders are stupid. Except for the ones on the Smart Show.
You wrote a report about Asian children.
They lived in okay conditions.
Fuck,
Better
dude,
than
that's
Ethiopia.
So funny.
I
Oh.
mean, we learned about Ethiopia from South Park too. Remember Marvin?
Yep, he was starving.
Something like that. I can't remember how they voiced him. Open the door.
What the fuck are we talking about?
We were talking about Crowder on the moon. Because... No, okay. Earlier, I was going to say something about Crowder. And think about this. Put this in your pipe. Your logical pipe and smoke it. Okay, so the big thing right now. Who is pretty much the most talked about person in the world right now? We both know him, and we both follow him, and we both listen to him. He just got out of prison.
Oh, you're talking about Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. Mr. Andrew Tate. What is the most number one thing that most males watching him right now are seeking? They're seeking to be more masculine. They're seeking to be like more like him. And like, yeah, he protects, he says he protects women and whatnot, but yet they call him misogynist.
Yeah, okay.
Well, so, and I'm not comparing these two by the way. So, Crowder.
I'm letting you know.
I feel like he is getting onto this train, but he doesn't quite understand what Tate is talking about. And I feel like he's trying to monopolize on it a little bit. Actually, that doesn't make any sense, because what if he released the footage?
I don't.
And then what I'm saying, maybe he's just saying, you're supposed to be a good Christian wife.
Now that would be funny, because talking about backfire.
I think that's very like left field, and that's not what happened. But we're just digesting
It
this.
seems unlikely, but it would be hilarious.
Oh, that
It's
would
like,
be
I'll
crazy.
show you. Everyone's gonna see what a horrible wife you
Yeah.
are, and then everyone.
And then Steven Crowder's going to end up on South Park.
He needs to.
Tate made it.
You know what though? I was very pleased to find out Tate's response to that.
Oh, he probably laughed
He
his
loved
ass
it.
off.
He loved it. And he actually said, he was like, something to the effect, he's like, one day I hope to help them make the perfect South Park episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, that would be amazing if he got on there and voiced
Well,
it.
but here's the thing. Matt and Trey are not big fans of letting celebrities. They certainly won't let them voice themselves.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Jennifer Aniston was on the show, I think, a couple times.
Yeah, and then, God, who was it? Some other really big fan of the show. George Clooney.
Musicians get a pass.
Yeah. But George Clooney did a role, but I think he was like some kind of animal.
Yeah, he was a fucked up animal that was created in a lab, right? And he was created by the guy in the, like, not a rain jacket, but the yellow shirt and the hat, and then had the little thing that looked kind of like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that name was Kevin.
I think so. That sounds right.
I know way too much about that. We watched
'Cause
a
I'm a
lot
gay
of South
fish.
Park. Oh my gosh.
Oh my. Hey, Tom, come on out of the closet. It's me, John Travolta.
Look at my boobies, Jack.
Look at them.
I'm telling you, like, that guy who makes those memes,
It's fucking great.
amazing.
Talented.
And then the guy that does
Talented
the
bastard.
music videos, where he takes, like, videos and chops them up, like, from Disturbed. Ooh, yeah. Round and deep. shit's so funny. I think his name's Magic Mike.
I can't tell you why
on
it's
YouTube.
funny, but it's fucking hilarious. And speaking of YouTube, you should check out our sponsors after you're done watching this incredible podcast, by the way. The Rock Band Again, or I think their username is actually Again Rock Band on YouTube, but you can find them. And it's not there now, but if you're watching this and it's not live, we'll put the link in the description.
I have an idea. We obviously can't monetize anyway because we're not even monetized, but that's okay. So what I was going to say, if we can reach out to them and ask them if we can review some of their music live.
Oh yeah, I'll ask them.
See if they're okay with that.
I'm sure they're down for it. I don't know
I'm a big music buff.
Because I know we talked because I sang their music. Did you listen to their song Kamikaze?
No.
Okay, so that's my absolute favorite.
Was that on your Instagram post?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you mean from today?
Yes.
Yes, that was it.
Okay. I heard a smidget.
Yeah. That's good. And actually, if you
that's the only reason I like your post. No, I'm just kidding.
Virus, their lead singer, who was on the podcast I did earlier today, he went through and told me the origin of that song, and I'm not even gonna lie, I got chills. Like it's deep shit.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me.
Oh, I will, but
after
people,
because it's probably personal.
Well, I mean, he said
it was on your podcast.
Yeah, but I want people to go watch the podcast. I'm not just gonna give it away for free, whores.
I paid $400 for the what was it? How to be hydrated.
The 500 elite level hydration.
No, you pay your own $500.
I'm not actually. I very much love to the person who said my Tristan impression was good. I actually wasn't trying to do a full blown impression because I was afraid I wasn't going to do it right. But it's like, I'm not going to tell you. You have to buy the course. You know what? And I'm like, this is totally random. Like, I would love. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to meet both of them one day. I feel like I'd get along with Tristan a little bit more. He seems like he's a little bit more, not even lighthearted, but just I think he likes to joke a bit more. And that could just be Andrew's online persona. They both obviously like to have fun, have a good time.
Yeah, I was watching a video recently where Andrew was making fun of Tristan for his shirt and his watch. He's like, $15,000. This is a $42,000 watch. TikTok paid for this.
Or there's the one. This is real from a real long time ago. And I'm sure it was a bit. They weren't being serious, but Tristan doesn't want to go out, and he's like, "You can wear whatever you want. I can wear whatever I want." He comes out with like a Bane mask. Actually, does a pretty solid Bane impression. Actually, from The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, you fight like a young man.
No, he did a solid impression. He's like, "You only adopted the darkness. I was born in it."
Oh yeah. Like anytime I see like Gen Zers or what's the new one?
Generation Alpha.
Is Generation Alpha?
Yeah.
Oh, back day, huh? Anyway.
Well, I mean, they went to Z, so.
All right. So anyway, so Generation Z, Generation Alpha, whatever. Like when I see them,
they're not the same thing.
I know.
I think you're talking about Gen Z because
So,
Gen Alpha's pretty young.
All of them, yeah, they're babies. Well, probably like
they're little.
So Gen Z, let's just say Gen Z. When I see them posting on like, there's a guy here on YouTube, 1980s gamer, and he's a dork. But the thing is, he's very kid friendly and makes fun videos for anybody of any age, and it's just basically retro stuff, like retro games. And I'm a very big fan of retro. And he was, what was I going about?
Something about Gen Z and
okay,
80s
so
video games?
Anyway, so when Gen Z makes comments and they're just like, "Oh man, this is the greatest thing ever," and I'm just like, "You merely adopted the doc. I was born in it." That was a very long story just for that joke.
You weren't around for the analog television.
See, and that's why I couldn't be a comedian, because it takes too long to get the punchline.
Speaking of comedian,
it's worth it.
Toast is apparently
Is he an amateur comedian or a comedian?
I think he is.
I could see it.
I can too, because we were talking about, again, on the Arte podcast. You should definitely go subscribe and watch that. But he was talking about how a friend of his was trying to get him to do stand up. I'm like, bro, you should.
We'll have a link in the description. Anyway,
I was like, bro, you should, because Toast is like so funny.
Quick-witted,
funny, smart. God, I sound like I'm trying to fuck him.
He's about to be like, he's so funny and smart.
He's so funny and smart.
Handsome too.
No, he's kind of an ugly motherfucker. But
Oh, jeez.
well, he has a penis, so.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Leah Thomas. Who is the swimmer that is?
I can't remember her name.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I was watching an interview with
the girl that tied with the actual girl that tied with Leah Thomas.
Yeah, it's funny. What is he? 6'4"? I'm sorry, she.
No, it's a he.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing is,
He got a dang.
Leah Thomas is at the time that they were in the bathrooms together, was still actively having sex with women.
Well, no, that Leah was just a lesbian.
And I'm just like, that's fine. But I'm like, did you do this because you sucked in your sport?
Yes.
And you switched? So that you know, and a lot of prisoners actually do this now. Before they are sentenced, they've been changing their gender so they can get thrown into women's population.
I want to clarify your statement a little bit. Like, you say a lot, but in the scheme of the criminal justice system, it's not common. But you're right, it is on the
California. I'll just mention California. That's where it's happening.
Oh yeah, because you do that in some states, you just become a target.
Yeah, and then they'll call you Napoleon blown apart. That's what happened.
Wow, I was not ready for that.
That's what they said. It's like, it make you feel like you've been fucked by a horse.
That's what them said.
Well, I'll put you down with the sodomites, make you feel like you've been fucked by a train.
Oh my god, what was your...
What was that? That's, what was that from?
I don't know.
Andy Dufresne.
Now I'm just remembering the text you sent. I'm not going to tell people what it's about, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like...
The first 2 words he said to me, vagina boob.
Yeah, but now her pronouns are was, were.
Oh, yeah. Her
Wait.
transformation is complete.
Way too soon, but still funny.
And that was my joke.
It was, solid. Like, I read that and laughed out loud. Like,
I'll be honest. It was the trans from the shooting that was taken out.
Oh, I mean,
I don't mind saying it.
Like, too soon for sure, but goddamn, it was funny.
It was.
We keep diverting, but like, so I'm just like,
No, this has been a very decent podcast so far.
But I'm actually really tired of being right as often as we are, because I couldn't put my finger on it. I just was feeling some major bullshit from Crowder. And then Landau came, and it was funny because the fact that this podcast got delayed was really a blessing in disguise, because I think I sent you the footage like that day on Thursday. And so,
yeah, it wasn't too long after, like I said, I wasn't feeling well, or it was either like right before or after.
I sent it to you, and then I think you texted me not long after. I said you weren't feeling well. But I wanted to get more from it, because honestly, if we'd done the podcast that night, we would have been like, yeah, fuck Crowder. And a little bit more's come to light, but I'm still kind of...
We were able to digest it and honestly come up with something other than, man, he's just a little bitch.
Well, I mean...
honestly...
But what did I say with the Crowder confronts, man? I was so right about that.
Well, I agree.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. They're funny.
But the thing is, like, with the whole... And like I said, I do have some respect for Crowder, and, like, his content is very consumable. But the thing is, like, the shit that we saw on that video, like, people can... I'm sorry, but anyone saying, like, coming to Crowder's side on that, dude, you're wrong. You are in the wrong.
Because what did I say to you? It's like, yeah, his wife hits him. He goes, that's assault!
Right, and I'm like, so like, you're backing her into a corner, and what's going to happen? You're going to force her to, like, get violent.
But see, here's the thing. That's what he does, because he's a fucking coward.
And I know, and I didn't want to admit it, but the thing is, like, I see it now.
Yeah, that's...
I have seen the truth, and it is good.
Which, and this is my...
Actually, that's not good.
I don't know if this would be considered toxic masculinity, but definitely my sexism coming out. It's like, and I'm not sorry for this. Crowder's what, at least 6'1", 6'2", maybe.
Yeah, he's fairly.
He's a fairly big guy, and his wife might be
his wife might be 5'5". Like,
sorry.
But there's,
I think I got it.
but there's clearly a size difference.
That's terrible. Oh, that's what she said. That's why she went with David.
Fuck.
Dude,
I
I want to see how well I would do with crowd work.
crowd work.
Crowd work. Like, have you seen that comedian Matt Rifle? Or
No.
Matt Rife or something like that?
No.
Basically, he just vibes off the crowd.
Oh
And
no,
he's a
I know.
comedian.
Yeah,
And he's amazing at it.
dude, comedians that can do that consistently, and
Right.
that's how you know they're good. That's how you know they're funny.
I'm not gonna say everything I say is funny, but
No, I think
I feel like I think I could do it.
I'm trying like
Might not be that good, but I could get better.
I'm trying like hell to remember the point I was gonna make.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, I remember. So my sexism.
Oh yes.
So should a woman hit her husband? No, but these are not the same thing. Because like for example, when I was married, my wife was 5'2", and I think at worst was about $120. She's not a big girl. She could put everything she had. In fact, she did this once. She put everything she had into a slap across my face once, and I no-sold it. Because, like, it burned, but it's just like... And actually, I was very proud of the look on her face.
Dude, I can see the mental image of a video. You have no power here.
That was literally... I described that as my you have no power here moment.
Oh, see, I ruined it for you.
No, it's funny you mentioned that, because that's exactly what it felt like to me. I was like, you have no power here.
You have no power here, Grey Wizard.
Except Gandalf then.
I'm the right wizard.
But
That was
anyway...
loud.
So yeah, is it sexist? Absolutely, but it's different because if I slapped my then wife with everything I had, I'd knock her the fuck out. Like,
And she'd be laying there.
yeah,
And Smokey comes up and says, means you got knocked the fuck out.
but that's my point. But the way Crowder argues it when he does the Crowder confronts thing, which has he done that? I think he has done that to a woman before. Well, that's assault. But anyway, like. It is sexist, but at the same time, it's like it's not the same thing. Like if Crowder's wife had cracked him across the face, I would have been like, well, don't be a bitch. Yeah, she slapped you. You're fine. You'll be okay. Like it's not that big of a deal. But when a guy hits a woman, I'm like, fuck you. I don't see. Here's the thing: unless she's got a weapon, like
She's not gonna hurt you.
she's not.
But the thing is though, like,
is
you know,
it wrong?
if you
yes.
hold if you hold them down and you hurt them though, like
But
because they're trying to get
But
back
even
at
that's different. If you're holding them down and they get hurt by...
you. Listen, you've probably got half a foot on her. Run. Just run. Get the fuck out of there.
And what's funny is there's probably some blue-haired chick who's like, well, that's sexist. And it's like, okay, well, maybe your husband will slap you across the face one day and knock you the fuck out, and then you can feel included.
You know what? I feel more included when she wakes up.
Thank you for treating me equally. Except her jaw's burning. Like, thank you for treating me equally.
Her friends, you know, after they find out she finally did it, and they're just like, I'm so happy for you.
Jesus Christ. Her husband locks the door. Open the door.
Oh, glass jaw. Open the door.
It's awful. It's funny, but it's awful. Honey, open the door.
Open the door.
Oh my god. It was such a stupid argument. And actually, what I took away from that Crowder video is, it's like you said, they clearly have many more issues, and this is just one of many arguments. But the whole thing, that's what it pointed out to me. Because like when you're going through that, you fight about everything. It's all stupid. It's all stupid and pointless.
And it can all be fixed real easily.
Yeah, just divorce each other.
No. All she had to do was literally just whip it out and just go to town. He would have shut up.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, women, you have the power.
You
Like,
have the power.
If he's acting like an idiot,
You have
just
the power.
lay it down. He will fucking listen.
Yeah.
Just saying. As easy as it is. You have the power. You have the power here.
You have the power to bring a man to his knees by ironically getting on yours.
Forward or backward, your choice.
Actually, I think that probably is part of the issue. But like, let's be real. If I was Crowder's wife, I wouldn't want to fuck him either. Like, God, he's got to be annoying.
Just imagine. just the way he is. You know?
Yeah, you like that? You like that? That's a soul.
Give him up. That was really good.
I imagine he would be a really annoying person to have sex with.
You like that? That's assault.
Either that or just be like, no, you're not doing it right. You're like, here, I'll do it.
And listen,
If you're not going to perform your wifely duties, I'll do it.
listen, we're giving him shit because this is like a serious thing, and like whether anyone wants to admit it, that's abuse.
It is 100%.
You know, in a court of law, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it, but you know, for the sake of the therapist bill, it's abuse. You know, and the thing is, like, that had to have been learned somewhere. You know, like maybe his mom or dad was somewhat, you know, controlling, and obviously that's how he became that way. But
well, here's kind of my perspective on it, and I'm certainly not an expert when it comes to dating or relationships. Lord knows I've fucked up more than most. But it's been my experience that if you're a man and you want to be, you know, like a more traditionally masculine man in a relationship, the secret is it's the opposite of constrictive control. You have to be so good in your role and so supportive of her deal that she doesn't want to leave. That's the key. It's like that old analogy where it's like, you know, the best way to keep a bird around is to not, because if you keep it crushed in your hands, you're going to crush it.
But if you hold your hand out,
it'll come to you. And it's like, it's the same with cats and dogs and I'm
So
not
this.
saying women are cats and dogs. That's the secret right there. That is it. Come here.
and they'll want to come.
Come here, baby.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
She enjoyed it.
She did. My neck is fucking hurting. So yeah, just, you know, the wife, she's probably done wrong things, but like, did she deserve this?
Well, no, but I think anytime you have, and that's a point that Sosa made that I really, it got me thinking about the other perspective. It's like, listen, you don't have that much animosity where nobody's blameless. It's clearly both parties, but, you know, like much like what happened in my life, the best thing to do is to just
Remove yourself from the situation.
part ways. Like, you're obviously not compatible with one another anymore. Maybe you were at one time, but now you're not. So
Do they have twins?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
My wife was saying that she believes they had twins, and I was like, I don't remember them having children. I was thinking this was their first.
They have children.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So it's like, where the fuck? Hold on. So she's pregnant, and I'm assuming with a newer child. I'm assuming this isn't that old. The video.
I think it's been within a year or something.
Yeah, within a year. So I'm assuming the other kids are, you know, babies, if not, you know, 2, 3, something like that.
I think they're young.
So with her wanting to leave and him just sitting out there acting like a fucking idiot and saying he can't leave anywhere, maybe they do have more than one car, but perhaps they only have one car with car seats.
Maybe
We were that way for a little bit.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. That's not what happened. You know, he just wanted to control her. Like, you could see it, every aspect. He was just, like, literally just trying to say, no, you're not going to do that. You know, and that's not the way it works.
I'm trying to see if I can find out if they have kids, but it's not saying.
Let's not say.
So actually, but this reminds me, Dave Landau said something, and I think it's 100% true. And I'll just read the quote.
He said she takes a dick like a champ.
So Landau essentially said that
He believes Crowder is someone who was bullied a lot when he was younger, and I think that's true.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so much, and it shows. But now he's become the bully, and he's getting off on the perceived power that he has by being the bully, and I've seen that happen so many times. I totally believe Steven Crowder got stuffed in a locker when he was younger. He's probably given a couple wedgies and a swirly, and now he's like. But it's ironic because he's a self-professed conservative, but that's usually something you see that level of resentment on the left more often. But there are bullies everywhere.
No, dude. No, they're not. We literally got away. We skated past all that bullshit with our school.
Yeah, but we went to a really small school.
Don't matter. We had like what, 60 people?
In our class, yes.
Yeah, so that's still 60 people. You'd think at least one of them would be a bully.
Well, I mean, to a point.
We all gave each other shit, but it was really no bullying.
No, nothing serious. That's what I'm saying, though.
Wow, we really grew up in Smallville.
We did, yeah. Well, I always make the joke about Waldron that if you get lost, just turn around.
Pretty much.
I mean, it does have
Ding, there's school.
It does have one stoplight, so
Yeah,
there's something to be said there.
that small town's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I mean, it is true. If you ever got lost in Waldron, just turn around and start going the other way. You'll end up on the other side of town in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
you'll
and
find your way.
You can't miss the school. It's on the main road.
The main road.
Like literally, the main road technically ends at the school.
Yeah.
And then it turns.
And it just, it does kind of turn off, but that's technically a different
another road.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another road. Yeah.
Do we have any more to add about Crowder?
I'm sure if we thought about it, we would, but I mean, just the crux of it is, listen, and if we think it, not even close to all of it has come out yet. There's going to be a lot more to this, and honestly, I think we might see
We might see the whole story.
well, but we're not going to see, what I'm saying is we're not going to see the permanent downfall of Crowder, but he's going to take a hit.
Yeah.
Because
This looks really bad.
he clearly did not want this to come out in the midst of him building up the new and improved Mug Club. Because he knew how it was going to make him look with a lot of conservatives, because there are a lot of conservatives who love him, but there's also a lot of conservatives who are going to look at that and be like, man, you don't talk to your pregnant wife that way. But I remember what I was going to say.
Okay, well, I was going to say, that's like Tim Pool, that's like Daily Wire. They've all got like people from the other side coming to them because they're giving, certain talk points that agree with. So, like, honestly, I think Crowder will still be fine, but he's going to lose.
Overall, he'll lose some of, and it's a stain that
What was
he's
your
never going to.
point?
So my point is, the whole argument seemed to have started, which again, we come right in the middle of the video. So from what I understand, Crowder wanted his wife to walk the dogs, which
She's pregnant.
well, okay, first of all, she's pregnant, and they have like over 100-pound Doggo Argentino.
Yeah, that's dangerous for her.
Well, just the sheer size of the dog.
Well, not even that. Like, she's holding the dog and it takes off.
That's what I'm saying.
That's trauma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if she didn't fall or anything like that. Now, I can presume that the dog is trained and blah, blah, blah. But again, do you really want to run the risk? But secondly, why does she need to walk the dog? Because they seem to have a fairly spacious backyard.
Some people just do that.
I know, but they're fucking stupid.
I agree. Like, I'm sorry. Like, my dogs, I never, like, take them on a walk. They stay near me if I'm walking outside. If we go in the front yard and walk around, like, we take them to the river every now and then. So.
Yeah, but that's not, like, I don't understand why. And plus, she'd be walking multiple dogs. And again, like you said, there's a million things that could happen. And, like, she's very pregnant.
Yeah. You can tell she's exhausted. You could just tell.
Oh, she's dealing with Steven Crowder.
She was just so defeated. She's like, I love you, but you're being cruel.
Yeah,
like,
and that's
she
what
said
it is.
Something like that.
Something to that effect. But he was basically, from what I could
And he
tell,
was.
he was being a dick just to be a dick.
Yeah.
Well, and then he starts preaching, sort of. It's like, are you going to be a wife worthy of respect? Blah 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 blah.
Oh.
As if your shit doesn't stink.
When he point blank also told her, he's like, I don't love you.
Yeah.
And it was like, obviously there's fucking problems in their relationship. I get it. But I'm just like, dog, you straight sound like you were sounding like someone in high school.
Well, but I guess in here, like, there's a line where even if you're having problems, there's still a line that I feel like you don't cross as a man. And one of those being like, So even in the darkest part of my divorce, like if my then wife had collapsed, I'd still take her to the fucking hospital. Like,
Yeah, you're not just gonna let her die.
she's still a person. Like, there's a line.
I feel like he would just sit there like this with his arms crossed. Nope, I don't fucking believe you.
It's like, you know what? If you had more discipline, this
You know what?
wouldn't happen.
I just want to come here and tell a couple fucking jokes, but you guys wanted to do this. You turned me into this.
Which actually, I did appreciate his rant that you're talking.
Oh, that was
there.
a great rant.
Because that's true, but then I also did watch Steven Crowder's stand up once, and
Uh-oh.
which it's really hard to find actually.
I just killed two viewers.
I don't care.
But it sounds like a fucking moped missing out. Sorry.
But I did see part of a Steven Crowder stand up set he did at some political convention, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Steven Crowder's particularly funny.
I think he's very funny.
He doesn't write all that though. I mean his stand-up material. He has writers on staff.
Did you watch the
Did
newer
I?
It's?
Yeah.
Okay, you know, in the second one, when that little kid is just like, he's talking to Richie Tozer, I can't remember his name, Bill Hader,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, hey, it's blah, blah, blah time, and the guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, what are you doing? And the guy's like, from your show.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a point.
Oh, because
I
he's like, yeah, I don't write that.
Yeah, there you go. See, look, he had to finish my point. Bitches. Just kidding.
God damn, bitches.
I can't do it as good as you can. Like, seriously. You know, the funny thing is about Seth Rogen's movies, like, they're not 100% that funny. His laugh just makes them even more funny. That's not true. Like, I don't like him as a person, but he's fucking hilarious.
He used to be awesome, and
Yeah.
now I just find him annoying.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, stop taking the woke pill, guys. Like, there's a lot of other actors that are, you know, not being annoying with that shit. It's like, we come to movies and TV
Wow, you
to
just
get away from
just-
fucking reality.
Wow, that just made me lapse into the whole like Nicole Kidman bit they do at AMC. He's like, we come to this place.
Oh, God, he goes and watches movies way too much at AMC.
Oh, speaking of which, I did
do like
I
AMC
did go
though.
see The Covenant.
Was it good?
Oh, dude, it's so good.
What's that about?
I'm sorry, I didn't talk to you about this. I told Sosa I was gonna go see it.
I've
'cause he
heard of it.
Oh, dude, it's great. It's phenomenal.
All right.
So it's the soldier who is in Afghanistan, and then his Afghan translator ends up saving his life, and then he gets shipped back to the States. But then he finds out that the Taliban put a price on his translator's head, so he goes back to rescue him and his family. And it's apparent it's based on a true story. I don't know if
Probably true events.
well, I mean that happened a lot, but
Okay.
I think the story. I think they changed names, but
Okay.
I think that story may have actually happened. But it was very similar to why Tim Kennedy. ended up-
Fictions of stories.
Yeah, but it reminded me. I thought it actually when I saw the trailer, I thought they might have been talking about Tim Kennedy or at least that operation because he joined an operation to.
It's
go.
surprising he doesn't have something out.
I'm shocked Tim
He's
Kennedy
got
doesn't.
so many good stories.
Tim Kennedy should do it. He probably doesn't have time. Is why
Yeah.
because he's busy. I mean, did you know he started a school? Legit started a school.
It's not Trump University, is it?
No, it's not.
Everybody's always talking shit about that, and I'm like, yeah, and those people got their money back. They sued.
Yeah.
Duh.
But
That's so
I
funny.
I assume it's because he doesn't have the time to do a podcast. But if he did, holy shit, I could just listen to
Tim
Tim
Kennedy?
Kennedy tell stories for. That's why anytime I see him on Joe Rogan, I'm like, fuck, gotta listen to that one.
Yeah, 4 hours long. Gosh, okay. I gotta drive to Cincinnati.
Right. It's like, well,
Cincinnati.
I have something to do for the next couple days when I'm driving to and from work. So
Yeah, and speaking of, if there are any good podcasts,
I
we can listen to it on the way to Kings Island soon.
Yeah, there's this one called Average Intelligence Podcast. The guys on there are really, really smart, predict the future, and they're pretty good looking. I mean, no homo, but
I like the guy with the longer hair.
I was gonna say I'd fuck the one on the that's the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm on the right, really,
Put
but
on the camera.
I'm on camera left.
Oh shit! Oh damn! We got guts on the camera.
Why did that loop over?
What did it loop?
us doing the whole chest thumping bit. That's way behind.
2 hours in.
I know, but it literally just showed us doing the chest bumps.
Hold on. Let's see. If I point to the camera. What the hell? How
It's
far behind
way
is that?
behind.
Yeah. I mean, like,
We're current as far as the stream itself, but it must have.
backed up
I
something.
just looked over and I'm like, wow, that was some time ago.
I still haven't pointed.
No, that's way behind. I don't know why. Open your door.
Oh, shit. Well, dude, we're at 2 hours.
Yeah.
You want to wrap up?
Yeah, we'll wrap her up.
Okay. That's what she said.
I don't know where that first came from. That was gonna,
Boom. Ah. Dude, like, seriously, like, someone out there who's got way too much time on your hands, take some sound bits and make a song out of us.
Please.
And you can even make fun of us. We
Internet
don't
for
care.
the win.
It'll be funny.
That's actually I told my oldest nephew, because my oldest nephew wrestles.
Oh.
He
He
wrestles.
raps.
No,
Like,
and
shit.
I told him, I said, listen, if you ever get in trouble, like in a match, I said, this is your Hail Mary.
Damn.
I said, this is your Hail Mary desperation move. Just like if you cannot get out, and it's risky because it can go one of two ways. I said, if you ever find yourself in a position you can't get out of, just as loud as you can, just go, harder, daddy. And I said, one of two things will happen. One, he will immediately let go, or
He's going to go harder.
he's into it and you're fucked. But
Quite literally.
yeah. I said, but like pull
Then
that out.
you
if
get the
need.
oil checked.
Ah!
Going for a puppet.
I said, ah!
No way. It's like he takes something. He's like, "Hello, puppet."
He came from the land of the ice and snow.
Hello, puppet. Came from the land of the ice and snow. Went to the midnight go. This is the time of the night. Ouch.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
I still haven't pointed to the camera, bro.
Oh no, dude, it's way back. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. Hopefully you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent, and we apologize in advance for disappointing you. But actually, I don't think we disappointed anybody with this one. This was pretty good.
I
think.
would think if you like to laugh.
This is informative and entertaining, though. See, we're not just talking heads, we're laughing heads.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, mi niñor.
We are mech suits driven by little buckets of goo.
You're not
Yeah.
supposed to tell them that. Sorry. Don't know why I did that because it doesn't work for this kind of microphone.
I know you can put your hand right there and it still
Doesn't
catches it.
matter. It still captures all the sound.
Open the door. Oh,
Anyways.
jeez.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. And for those of you who subscribed recently, we salute you. I still don't understand why, but we still salute you.
And listen, if you just came out of a coma of like 30 days or more,
Your wife
don't
is
go and ask for a Bud Light, and you're not gonna watch Tucker anymore.
Yeah, he's not on the air.
Well, you're
He
not gonna
might
watch
be.
him on Fox.
Yeah, you're not going to watch him on Fox. If you prefer to listen to the podcast as opposed to watching it, which, I mean, it's a good driving podcast, if you really think about it.
Oh yeah.
It's a good passive listen, because not a lot happens although sometimes you miss some of the visual gags if you're just listening to it. But
We speak with our hands.
we do. We're very animated. But if you prefer to listen or need to listen, you can check us out. We're on YouTube Music, so you can get the audio-only part. But we're also on the Acropolis News Network. We're
Yes.
also on Amazon, Audible, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. There's more. Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio, Basically, if you
Any
can,
podcast site you can think of.
pretty well. I think there's like some obscure ones we're not on, but we're on all the major ones,
Yeah.
including
And that's what
Apple.
matters.
Yeah, and that's what matters. And rtamedia.org if you want to be really old school about it. But you can see all of our podcast episodes as well as all the podcasts in our network, which I'm excited to say will be growing fairly soon. Get on your shit, Toast. Get on it. But no, well, not just Toast, but we're not far along enough on some of that other stuff to announce it yet. But some other interested parties might be doing podcasts. You know who, but not developed enough to really make an announcement yet.
So I probably shouldn't say something. This is a closer for us, but
God.
so I said something to my brother. You know who he is.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the idea that you
I said something about that he should come on the Down the Middle and talk with you about wrestling because he knows a shit. And he says, "Oh, I'll run circles around him." Just putting that out there. I think that would be entertaining.
All right, well, go for it. Because I never claimed to be like a wrestling historian.
I know. I'm just joking. But so yeah, thank you for checking out the podcast tonight. I'm Jake. This is Eric.
Because, like, if they don't know, then they think.
Actually, my name's Limousine. Figure that out.
It's because you're long?
I'm long and strong and ready to get the freak shit on. So, fellas, yeah! Fellas, yeah! Goodbye.